Stu and Dave Do America present Johns versus Cops. A lot of people sitting on the ground there.
Yeah, they left us out there for quite a while.
Which one are you?
I was hoping they would blur my face, but no, I'm right there. I'm screaming that I will be at the Soul Theater in Boca Raton May 1st and 2nd. They did say that my court hearing will not be until probably the end of the month.
So they let you schedule the court hearings around the comedy dates.
They did. They were very polite.
That's very nice.
I didn't act up.
By the way, DaveLandau.com to get tickets to that. That's a real event. I think what we saw there was a real event, but not a Dave. You weren't involved in that particular event. It was a big investigation. They found that it was a sexual encounter center.
Yes.
That was happening at a warehouse. Lots of drugs, lots of cash picked up. It was not necessarily a positive night for those particular gentlemen.
No, it was not.
You were not actually there, though. We should be clear.
Yeah, we should be clear that this is a joke. I will say I once was at a bar in the Grosse Pointe area.
You don't have to tell me a story where this happened to you. You know, you could just let that. We could just go to the theme song.
This is not that. This is not This is what I did. Mm-hmm. But I was doing shots, and for some reason, the guy who ran the bar, I don't know, he was rubbing me the wrong way. So every time I did a shot, I would slide it down the bar, and it would break in the ice. And he's like, "Could you stop doing that? I have to give ice to customers. It's not funny." I'm like, "I'll stop." Then he'd give me another shot, and I'd slide it down the bar, and it would break in his ice. And he's like, "Seriously, I'm going to throw you out." And I'm like, I'm just trying to be funny. And then the third one, I slid down the bar and broke in the. So anyway, his name, it was Bob Bashara.
Bob Bashara.
And they found his wife strangled not far from the bar he owned in her Mercedes.
Oh my.
And it turned out that he had hired his handyman. And handyman is very ironic if you saw how stupid he was. But he promised him $2,000 in a used Cadillac to murder his wife. And it turned out he had a sex dungeon in the basement of that very bar. And he was going to use her insurance money to make a new sex dungeon, I believe, in Alpena, Michigan, not too far from Detroit. So
upgrades.
Yeah, he was looking for some upgrades. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was upsetting a man who was going to plot a murder by breaking his shot glasses into his ice.
I will say, after the third time you did that, I would have supported the murder of you in that situation. That was
he was in the right at that time.
He was less right on the sex dungeon murder thing.
The sex dungeon murder is what makes me look okay in the story.
Yes.
Otherwise, I just seem very drunk
like a jerk.
And rude.
Yeah. I will say too, if you are going to murder someone's wife for pay, get a new Cadillac. At least a lease that's been paid.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be going for a used Cadillac. In that
you shouldn't be getting a 20-year-old DeVille, and $2,000 is very low. Very low to strangle. And the body wasn't, it was only a couple miles from the bar. So it was very fast.
Did you tunnel through the dungeon to the location of the murder?
I bet you could, depending on the sewer system.
Okay.
But it's a Detroit sewer system, so you're not going to love what you find.
Probably not.
And I bet you there's sewer people down there. There's probably chuds.
Well, speaking of moments from your past that perhaps you'd like others to forget, let's do Gavin Newsom's drunk teenage girlfriend.
You're watching.
Welcome to Stu and Dave Do America. Welcome, Dave Landau.
Ahoy, and we meet again.
We do. We have a lot to get to today, including not new video, old video that has been resurfaced, kind of unearthed, if you will.
And by old, you mean the gentleman in the video and not the young lady.
Not the young lady they're talking about. Unearthed video of Gavin Newsom losing his temper goes viral after California governor, then 38, is grilled about giving booze to his 19-year-old girlfriend. Now,
wow, he put it in her sippy cup.
He did. He did. It was it a Peppa Pig's sippy cup?
It was, yes, okay. It was.
Let me just show you the video. This is from 2006. Now, I consider myself, Dave, to be a bit of an expert on all of the terrible
teenagers
things.
Drunk.
No, don't. I shouldn't have paused there. That was my fault.
That was your fault.
As a broadcaster, I should have known to talk right through that sentence.
You left an opening.
I'm a bit of an expert on making sure that Gavin Newsom is held accountable for all of the terrible things he does. Now, I don't have a particular story about Gavin Newsom having a sex dungeon and murdering someone in a used Cadillac, but I am certain one exists.
Oh, yes.
I don't have the evidence of it, so I can't bring it to you today, but I'm sure it occurred multiple times, frankly. But here is, I will say, but being an expert on Gavin Newsom, I did not know this story. I did not know that apparently this was a thing back when he was mayor of San Francisco. He had a relationship, a dalliance of sorts, with someone who was almost exactly, in fact, I think exactly half his age. He was asked about this.
If the math adds up, it's half.
It was 30. I couldn't remember if I said 37 or 38.
Yeah, okay. You said 38, so it does add up.
38 and 19. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah. I just wanted to let you know you're right.
Yeah, can we get we need a new we need a spreadsheet sponsorship with Microsoft Excel?
Yeah, if you ever need simple math done, okay, I'm your guy.
How simple? What number can you get up to?
That one was a little complicated,
okay,
but I did get it.
Okay. Here is Gavin Newsom being cornered by a reporter. You'll see this is one of those things where the reporter is asking he's trying to get a normal question. Newsom's dealing with him, and he waits, and then he hits him with the question he really wants to ask. Watch.
I'm asking about the attack on the Yale students over New Year's, and it's kind of spreading across the country. A couple other, some news outlets in other countries are picking it up.
And it's a good reminder how important it is to remind our parents to be good stewards of underage drinking.
Underage drinking.
I appreciate that. The only other question I have is, it hasn't been a very easy week for you, and I'm wondering whether you have any comment on the Mateer and Roth story about the drinking.
Thank you very much. That was a great cheap shot.
You can't help yourself. You cannot.
Just know, for the record, it's increasingly impossible to have a conversation.
The mayor was out there.
Just know it's not personal when I walk by you. You just send some other reporters. It's going to be a lot easier now.
Mayor's not personal here either.
Towards Channel 7.
I'm sorry?
You keep missing consistently a lot of facts because your opinion is so enthusiastic to get in the way on facts. And then, let me tell you, the investigation was not helped by a lot of things that are in the report.
I think he keeps talking all the way into the car. So it gets a little difficult to understand there.
Right. What's happening is the guy who's driving the car is saying, hurry up, your 19-year-old girlfriend is waiting for you to get her drunk.
Yes.
And you're being very slow with this reporter.
Essentially what happens. So if you couldn't hear that, to kind of recap it, basically he asks a normal question about teenage drinking, gets Gavin Newsom to say, yeah, it's a real problem, that teenage drinking, and then says, hey, by the way, there was a report about you dating a 19-year-old and getting her drunk. He then walks away, says, oh, well, I guess that was a good cheap shot. It's impossible to talk to your reporters anymore. Gets very upset. Seems like a pretty rational thing for a reporter to ask, actually.
It does. He also slams his body into the microphone to get around the reporter, just to gives him a little bit of a check. But Gavin Newsom did say it is important to be a good steward when giving alcohol to minors, which is essentially a male flight attendant that gives alcohol to people.
Yes.
So he's being pretty honest at that point. He's like, look, it's important to give them booze, is what he's saying, if you read between the lines.
Can I ask another question, Dave? And this is something where I want to use your expertise.
Yes.
A lot of people are saying, is how I want to start this. A lot of people are saying.
I got it.
There are some signs with Gavin Newsom's mannerisms and behavior in that interview that indicate to some that maybe alcohol is not the only substance he may have been using at that time. Would you say that's accurate?
I would say that's accurate.
As an expert.
As an expert, I would say yes, he is probably on cocaine.
That's the one.
Yeah, it's because the way his jaw's moving, he's clenching his teeth a bit like he has lockjaw. And I shouldn't say no for sure.
This is alleged, of course.
Allegedly.
Speculation.
I believe he's guilty by the complete reaction of guilt.
That's the only evidence you have, though. Is
the only evidence I have is his
guilt.
complete reaction as if it obviously happened. Because usually if you didn't do something, you will body check a reporter's microphone and then try to come up with something better and better to say as you make a 10-foot walk to it.
You can't discipline yourself to stand in one place while making the argument. It's like you're constantly fidgeting your way to the car.
Right. He's like, this is why it's getting harder to have a conversation. People keep bringing up stuff I did to teenagers. Maybe if you didn't bring it up, I could sit there and talk to you.
It's so much easier to be mayor when people don't bring up the fact that you're hooking up with drunk teenagers.
Exactly. And that's really his frustration there. And they're like, just get in the Continental. Get in the car.
Now, this is the story, Dave, from 2006. Has the mayor's new girlfriend, who is only 20, been drinking? Now, again, he looks like someone who is definitely committed multiple murders in that photo.
Oh, yes. He looks like he picked her up in his limo.
Yes.
And for the sake of murdering her.
Yes.
He does really look like a killer.
He does.
It's full narcissistic Patrick Bateman.
It's totally Patrick Bateman. I guess, and maybe that's why I keep seeing it, because he does sort of look like Patrick Bateman from American Psycho.
Oh, he does.
And the movie is based on him and his life.
Yes, and the fact that it is based on Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom's life.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. That's what some people are saying.
We don't know that for sure.
They are saying she... Now, this is the story, Dave. The biggest question is whether it's Brittany, Brittanie, Mounts, who had just turned... This isn't a real story. Did they scam us? This isn't a real story, is it? Brittany Mounts.
She spells it like an idiot, and that's her last name is Mounts. He couldn't try harder. Anyway, sorry.
No, Brittany Mounts. She just turned 20 last month. The biggest question is whether Mounts has been drinking, and it's been
happy birthday. Sorry, happy belated.
Yeah. She's not 20 anymore. That's why, of course, he's not with her anymore. But these rumors have been swirling since the pair made their first public appearance. Amazing. And he's 38. He's the mayor. He's publicly dating a 19-year-old. Walked down the red carpet together at San Francisco Symphony in September. I'm sure she was into that. I'm sure. You're very cultured.
Yeah, I'm sure she loves symphonies.
Huge symphony girl. At the time, Mounts had a MySpace page that said she was 19. Is this an adorable story or what? What a romance.
So she had a MySpace page at the time as a 19-year-old.
Yes, not today, I don't think.
No. I mean, I'm sure whoever he's seeing on the side does, but and it's not MySpace. But yeah, that's that's the thing is like it's not illegal, but she's drinking.
Well, yes. And look, as you can attest, some people do drink before 21. This is something that has occurred in our country.
It has happened.
It's, I think, a lot different when you're talking about Dave Landau at 17 years old, drinking with a bunch of his buddies and driving his car and doing, burnouts on people's lawns. This isn't like behavior we would celebrate today. I'm sure if your son were to do that, you would not necessarily be excited.
He would get a stern talking to.
It's a totally different situation, I think, when you're talking about a girl drinking at 19, 18, or sometimes earlier, when that person is having a sexual relationship with someone who's almost 40, right? Like if you're 40 and you're getting an underage girl drunk and having sex with her, that's a totally different world. We're borderline Epstein land, right? I mean, if you look back at the Epstein stuff, a lot of people talk about the stuff that he definitely did in Miami with girls he would go recruit from local high schools and malls and things with Resurfaced.
The man bought a school to live in.
Yes, well, that was later on. Yes, he did.
But still, yes, he would recruit. Yeah,
he would recruit.
He was a teacher.
Was he?
I believe he was a teacher, a professor?
Professor or something.
Professor.
It was a college, though. I think he was a professor.
Okay.
But he would send Jelaine out to the malls and they would find these young girls in Miami and they would bring them back to his house for massages and stuff. What's interesting about the newer developments in that story, what we've learned since, is I'm sure that stuff was also still going on. But he also had a very widespread appetite for the barely legal types. Yes. It wasn't just all illegal. It was the barely legal types as well, which he probably did illegal things with too, but they were of age technically. And those are a lot of the girls who were at the island. And if you think about the mechanics of this, and I'm sure you've done a lot of research on this, but if you think about the mechanics of it, it'd be hard to take a local high school student and bring her to an island. Her parents would probably notice.
Well, you need a permission slip. Yeah. And I think if she doesn't have one of those, it's definitely illegal.
Right.
As far as I recall. Well, no, and look, let's say he's 21 and you're dating a 19 or 20-year-old and you're getting whatever. I mean, I know that I'm not saying that's okay.
Yes.
You can understand. But you're the mayor of San Francisco.
Yes.
and you're already doing something that abuses your power. You're already showing signs of how bad you're. Well, I mean, not unlike any politician, obviously, but you're already showing signs of who you're going to be. And there's a chance of this person being the president of the United States.
That's, I guess, where I am, because you're right. It's not illegal. I mean, the drinking's
illegal,
and that's something he should have taken heat for at the time. Though it's not a crime that you necessarily drag it out till 20 years later. Him, having this relationship is not good, but also not illegal. And if she's of age, it's kind of, we have laws for a reason.
Right.
If you need to stay on the right side. If you're going 54 miles an hour, you can't get pulled over for speeding.
Right.
But it's a questionable activity from someone and questionable judgment from someone who has shown questionable judgment over and over and over and over again. This is not a person you want to be president of the United States.
Yes, and clearly an admission of guilt and somebody that can't control their emotions when anything's brought up of what they've done wrong.
Right.
Or even potential of what they've done wrong.
And you don't necessarily want a president who is in the midst of heavy cocaine use, which again is only alleged.
Unless Biden. If they would have given Biden more cocaine.
I would have supported that, I think.
Yeah, it would have worked out better.
Because he had to be on something. It just, they were...
The couple times he landed it, there was definitely an upper involved. And I guarantee you, if it wasn't cocaine, it was enough Adderall to feel like it was a lot of cocaine.
Right. And it's not, the only thing about accusing Joe Biden of using cocaine is there's not like there's evidence that cocaine was found at the White House while he was president. That's not a thing that happened to all, we all just kind of ignored and act like it didn't occur.
No, it's not like his son left bags all over like Johnny Crackleseed.
You assume it's his son.
Look, I was wrong. No idea.
I don't know what his son has done to justify that accusation. No, he's done a lot to justify the accusation. Though I will say, when you watch Joe Biden come out and do a halfway decent, when he was awake for like a State of the Union, why wouldn't we assume he was on cocaine? It would be the best thing he did as president. If he had cocaine parties at the White House, it would be his best accomplishment in those 4 years.
By far. It should have been an eyes wide shut party, minus the sex, but with plenty of cocaine.
Yes.
But honestly, it would have been a better president. If he was alert on blow, I'm sorry, everybody. You may not agree, but I promise he would have been more up.
Until his heart exploded in like 2020, early 2021, I would say. It wouldn't have lasted long.
Well, it definitely wore off when a bike almost killed him.
To be fair, the bike was very high, and the feet couldn't touch the ground with it.
Yeah, that's very hard to do.
Do you remember when that? Because that was at the beginning. We're getting totally off track. The beginning of everyone kind of noticing. Now, I think most people in the center, on the right, had noticed the Biden thing for a long time.
Yeah.
The fading. But it was still like, you could remember him being somewhat coherent.
Yeah.
And then the bike thing happened, and that was one of the first ones they tried to blow off as, come on, everyone's fallen off a bike before.
Oh, everybody falls upstairs. Getting on Air Force One, who doesn't?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want him to trip, then make the ground flat, which unfortunately was a problem later on when he did trip when it was flat.
Yeah, the guy tripped more than Chevy Chase playing a president on SNL,
and yet never parodied on SNL.
Never once.
I mean, this is your world, right? You watched all this happen. From the time I was a kid, every president was always constantly mocked on Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
And every other, it's a central part of our culture, the United States president, to be mocked. Like it was, obviously, Reagan constantly mocked. Ford was constantly mocked.
Oh, yeah.
But Bill Clinton was too.
Yeah, he was mocked, yeah.
Until we got to Barack Obama. When Barack Obama happened, it was like who I love Fred Armisen.
So do I.
He's a freaking hilarious guy. But like, it was Fred Armisen being like, this is an exact word-for-word example of one of his speeches recently.
He's also in blackface, and no one mentioned that the whole time. They dig up all this stuff on blackface, and you're like, he was in blackface for 4 years.
That's a great point.
Yeah, nobody brought it up.
No one cared.
But then who did they have play Biden? Jim Carrey, and they did it like he was a rock star. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Like he was
It happened very late, though.
Tons of energy, it was really bizarre.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's who they had come in. Jim Carrey playing him like a rock star.
Well, there was something in the culture for a long time that Joe Biden was like actually a sexy guy. It was it Parks and Rec?
Yes.
With Amy Poehler, were like obsessed about Joe Biden, and he's like, oh, he's this rock star guy. But I don't know that anyone outside of Hollywood ever saw that.
No, it feels like it was written by the CIA, both shows. Because, I mean, look, there's still funny sketches. People can say it's awful, whatever, but there are funny sketches, Sure. But that just looks like something where you go, did the government come to you and say we need it to look this way? That's how suspicious that is.
Very strange. But one more thing, if I may bring up one more blackface point before we leave.
Yes.
We talk off the air often about Mr. Show with Bob and David, a sketch comedy show that aired in the 90s, kind of a cult classic, one of the best sketch comedy shows of all time.
Ever.
And so Netflix brought it back in the mid-2010s for, I think, 4 episodes.
Yeah, I think it was just called Bob and David.
It's just called Bob and David, or With Bob and David is actually the official title. And, I go back to these things and watch them. Like, I've watched Mr. Show 5,000 times, but, like, I'll go back and watch these things every once in a while. And I went back recently and watched the With Bob and David 4 episodes that are on Netflix. Now, if you know anything about this, you probably don't, because not a lot of people watched it at the time, but there's only 3 episodes. Well, actually, there's 4 episodes. There used to be 5.
Okay.
Now there's only 4. The reason there's only 4 is because of one sketch David Cross is in, who is a massive liberal, by the way, like the most liberal of liberals.
Yeah, he's very liberal, but he also will say what's funny.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I give him a lot of credit for.
100%. Like, he's great, but he's also no hiding his politics. Like,
None.
This is not, he's no, hidden conservative or anything.
At all, yeah.
So he does a sketch, which they're kind of mocking, like, the YouTube libertarian videos that were popular at the time, where you'd like pull up to police officers and you'd be like, you should know your rights. You know, you remember the sketch?
I do.
You should know your rights. Like, a police officer can only ask you to roll down your window by 1 inch, and then you just enough to put your documents through. And it's like a parody of those videos. It's a very funny sketch. But he keeps trying to push it, and he realizes the police are just being nice to him, and he
keeps coming around the block to try to get a video of him being attacked by the cops.
Yeah. He wants the controversial video he could get to go viral, but the cops are just being nice and understanding, and he can't get them to react. So he comes back.
Yeah, when he cracks the window, they're like, that is the law.
Yeah, so we're fine. That's fine. Yeah. Actually, we were just going to wave you through, but I thought you were looking at your phone. So it's an African-American cop, and he pulls up to him, the 4th time to try to get him into a fight with this cop, and he pulls up in blackface. This white guy he's seen several times, now he's in blackface, and the guy still doesn't really go after him. The point of the sketch, honestly, like, I can make the point, first of all, that the police are actually, just nice at times. I don't know if that was his point, but also the point of the sketch being that, like, these people are looking for conflict and don't often get it. Anyway, it has nothing to do.
I think that was the point, was that, they were always, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
That was it, though, that they were all, that you have to shoot something 10 times
to get the right video, right, which they eventually get at the end.
Right.
When a white cop winds up attacking him, not the black cop. Anyway, the point of it is, because he used blackface in the sketch, which is a point you could arguably make. He's making a point in favor of African-American police officers, and how it's bad to wear blackface, of course. It's not like he's doing it for the laughs. That never matters. The context doesn't matter. So Netflix pulls not just the sketch, the entire episode.
Yep.
So I'm watching this, and of course that one's not there. I was aware of this controversy. And as I'm watching it, the end of the last episode ends, and it goes into a behind the scenes. In the behind the scenes, which I hadn't watched in years, they show almost the entire sketch, including him in blackface. Right. It's still up there right now. The documentary of the series features a preview of the episode they pulled, including the scene he has blackface on, and they never pulled it.
Yes.
This is how dumb this is, Dave. The entire world has gone completely insane.
And to get angry at him when, yes, the point's being made for a reason. There's a reason why he's wearing it. It's a joke. And that's the part, too. It's not a disguise. It's not a functional disguise.
No.
That's part of the joke.
Yes.
It's absurd.
So anyway, there's still stuff. And by the way, on there is a friend of the program. We'd love to have him on at some point, Jay Johnston.
Yes.
Who's one of the most talented sketch comic actors and performers of all time. He's incredible in that show. He's incredible in Mr. Show and many other things. And he's known now, unfortunately, had a little bit of a run-in with authorities
6th.
because he was at the January 6th protest.
And it's too bad. I wanted him on Normal World, and we ended up... So we need to get him on this.
We need to get him on. He's great.
Yeah, because he was
guy.
There, they really have kind of blacklisted him.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I mean, everybody, all of his friends from that show have abandoned him, and like they won't even talk to him anymore. It's disgusting. These people are... Hollywood people are awful, even though many of them very talented. They're also very awful.
Yes.
Just like us. So we'll be back in a minute. We'll tell you a little bit about, a little more on Gavin Newsom. We've got a bunch of other stuff coming up. We'll be back in a second. All right, GHOSTBED. This message is sponsored by GHOSTBED. And honestly, the whole show is because if it were not for GHOSTBED, I would come in here much more angry. I would come in here much more, edgy because I didn't get any sleep. I sleep on a GHOSTBED every night.
Scary.
It does sound scary. It's not a scary bed.
Oh.
It's an amazing bed. People, will upgrade their phone. They'll upgrade their television. They'll upgrade their coffee maker. All those things wonderful. Of course, capitalism gives us wonderful things. However, when you have a worn out mattress that's been around for years, maybe decades.
Do I?
Yeah, I mean, that's because, I get it. And
I'm sorry, you should do that. I apologize.
No, it's okay. If your sleep is off, your life is going to feel off, and your mood is going to feel off, and your energy is going to feel off. Everything is off when you don't get a good night's sleep. That's why GHOSTBED is great. I had a bed for many, many years, years too long, and I didn't want to turn it in because I really liked it. It was like a high-end bed that I had bought a million years ago. My wife was like, okay, like we've had this for a long time. Can we switch this out? And I kept resisting, and then I found the GHOSTBED. I was like, look, if I'm going to take a chance, I'll take a chance on the GHOSTBED. It's awesome. I have one at home. We sleep on it every night. It is fantastic. It stands out. They don't just make mattresses that look nice in the showroom or feel good for 5 minutes while you're checking it out. This is something that has comfort, support, cooling. It has got real recovery while you sleep. And if you're tossing and turning and you're waking up all the time, you're going to love a GHOSTBED. Do you have a GHOSTBED, Dave?
I'm getting one.
You are?
So I have to be, I want to be honest with the audience. I'm excited about it.
Really?
I went through to pick one out. Yeah, I'm excited to get a new bed. Mm-hmm. I've been wanting one.
Okay, and you're going to get a GHOSTBED.
I'm getting a GHOSTBED.
I love this. All right,
this is by choice.
This is by choice. They're not holding you hostage and giving you a GHOSTBED.
Nope, they're not forcing me to sleep on it. I'm going to give it a whirl because I have heard not just from you, but from a lot of people here that it is nice to sleep on.
Awesome. You're going to love this bed if you get it. They're offering our audience lowest prices of the season, plus an extra 10% off right now at ghostbed.com. This is a little confusing. It's ghostbed.com/Dave and Stu. Because they're giving, they're going through this whole thing where they've got these great deals going on, and they're like, we want to prioritize Dave in the promo code. So it's Dave and Stu, the promo code, Dave and Stu at ghostbed.com. If you use the code Stu and Dave, they will charge you double. That is their guarantee. No, I don't know.
Yes, I don't know what the discount is.
I don't know what it is either, but get the extra 10% off. Ghostbed.com. Code is Dave and Stu. Promo code Dave and Stu at ghostbed.com. One thing you should do is join us at BlazeTV, blazetv.com/Stu and Dave. There is a code, which is Stu and Dave, conveniently, and that will get you $20 off your subscription. You get, with Blaze TV Plus, you get access to the entire network. There's a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff we do. We'll do like special events for some of these big elections that are coming up, all that stuff. It's all available as part of your Blaze TV subscription. So
feed pics.
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure I sent those in for the right people.
You did. That's totally fine. You can subscribe and get $20 off now. Promo code is Stu and Dave. DaveLandau.com is the place to go to find out where Dave is going to be across the country. Want to give us a couple dates, Dave?
Well, I'll tell you what. May 1st and 2nd, I'm going to be at Boca Raton at the Soul Theater. May 9th, Pottstown, Pennsylvania at Soul Joel's. May 15, 16, I'm going to be in Greenwood, Indiana at the Mad Hatter Event Center. And I'm coming to you, Callie. I'm coming your way, San Francisco, where Gavin Newsom was the mayor. I will be there May 20th at Cobb's Comedy Club, and the 21st I'll be at the Punchline in Sacktown, Sacramento.
So both of Gavin Newsom's locations, San Francisco and Sacramento. By the way, if you are 19, you drink free at Dave's events.
That's correct. That's a rule. That's why he calls it Sacktown, because everyone gets his sack if he...
No, I think people understood that.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they got it the first time. By the way, tomorrow, this is a good time for me to tell you about serious election news. Tomorrow, I will be kind of soft launching the Predictable show that I'm doing. It's called Predictable with Stu. It's a show that talks about the news of the day through the lens of prediction markets, hopefully to get you to understand the world a little bit better, and then maybe make a little cash to pay for dalliances around the world with your 19-year-old girlfriend to go see Dave Landau live.
Pretty good.
That's what I would do with the money. So check it out, predictableshow.com, predictableshow.com. Quickly, with the end, to finish up this Gavin Newsom thing, he's been involved in a few controversies, not just the 19-year-old girlfriend.
Okay.
Also had there's a certain, I don't know. There's a lot of things you should do and shouldn't do in life, Dave. There are lines you can cross and get away with, and then there's lines you shouldn't cross.
Some are blurrier than others.
I
get it.
But, and sometimes guys have been known to do things they shouldn't do.
Yes.
But there is a sort of guy code built on top of that of certain things you really should not cross the line to do. One of which, and tell me if you agree with this, would be sleeping with your best friend's wife. I feel like there's a line there somewhere.
I feel it's frowned upon.
Yes. Yeah.
If I was going to say, I would say it's frowned upon. You should avoid it at all costs.
Yes.
Mainly because it'll ruin the friendship.
It really will.
As well as their marriage.
Both marriages.
Correct.
Which is basically what happened in this situation. He slept with his best friend's wife, blew up his marriage, blew up the guy's marriage, and then also the friendship between the two.
And this was Mr. Newsom.
This is Newsom back in 2007.
Wow, he was really on a tear back then.
Yeah, this was an interesting point in his life. He had a big wildfire controversy in 2019, not in close concluding the more recent one.
Yeah, that's a lot of fires. Anyway.
March 2020, he enacted the strictest COVID lockdown policies in the nation. He was the first one who did the shutdown. It was before Andrew Cuomo, even though I can't stand Andrew Cuomo, and AndrewCuomoIsAwful.com is still active. All that's true, but Gavin Newsom actually was first. He did that. Then he had the French Laundry scandal.
Where he was eating at the French Laundry during all the COVID shutdowns, which just came off like the Purge election year.
Yes, which a movie I saw, by the way, in theaters.
Yeah, they were just a group of elites going ahead and they're like, we can eat here. We're clean people. We're above everyone. Let's go eat here. Pelosi can get her hair done. We're more important than the rest of society.
If you've ever seen an interview with Gavin Newsom, you realize him eating at the French Laundry was the only honest thing he's done in office. That's him. That he's better than you. He knows better than you. He can do whatever he wants. He's superior to everyone who is in the state. He knows better. He is better. That's who he actually is.
Well, yes. And he also wore a mask until he got to the table to eat. So there was no chance of spreading the virus.
No.
Because that made sense.
Totally.
We all know that it could only be spread if you took the mask off before being seated.
He had an unemployment fraud scandal. He had they tried to recall him, which everyone's like, oh, he won the recall. Yeah, he won a recall 55-45 in California as a Democrat. Wow, celebrate. What an amazing margin.
That's actually losing in California.
Yes. It's horrible. He criticized LGBTQIA2+ community groups over insufficient support for transgender athletes. He was criticized by those groups because he has tried to walk this line of like, look, I'm not one of those crazy people. I don't want men and women's sports. But if you've ever watched him talk about it, he's so uncomfortable because he knows he has his left flank he has to guard coming up to a primary. And his right, he wants to kind of seem like he's, in the middle so he can get elected. It's a very difficult time to be.
Well, his whole thing is you have to be a people pleaser with anybody, I guess, going into politics and elections. But this one's such a ridiculous issue that you should be able to have the balls to say how you actually feel about it.
Yes. How about being honest?
Yeah, just
how about blurting it? I mean,
and by have the balls, if you have them, you shouldn't be playing in a woman's sport.
Right, or with a 19-year-old woman.
Yes.
So let me give you a news scandal. This is a new one.
Oh.
How Newsom boosted his book sales with $1.5 million from his PAC. This is an interesting strategy. Now, as you know, Dave, there is literally no chance anyone would willingly read Gavin Newsom's book.
No.
This is not a thing that would occur in human society in the year 2026. Now,
I bet you he didn't.
No, right.
Whoever ghost wrote it for him did.
He didn't write it. He didn't read it. Basically, nobody did. However, he still wanted a bunch of people's money, and he couldn't, of course, sell the book because no one was interested in it. So what did he do? He went and went through a super PAC. So super PAC took money and said, hey, if you donate to the Gavin Newsom super PAC, we're going to send you a copy of Gavin Newsom's book that we're going to buy with your money. So you donate. They would take a portion of the donation. They would buy a copy of the book and then hand that out, and it counted as a sold book. They say about 2/3 of the book sales came from this little scheme.
So of all the warehouses that people could burn down, we don't go for the one filled with Gavin Newsom's books. That's a shame. I mean, talk about getting high on your own supply, too.
Yeah.
Getting a book in the mail, like, wow, more of this.
More Newsom.
So is it illegal to do that?
It's I would say not illegal. It's honestly more common with politicians than you'd like to admit.
I mean, I realize the super PAC can give money. You can do what you want with it. But doesn't it? It seems very, very dishonest.
It's very borderline, Dave. And book burning gets a bad name. But honestly, in this case, it kind of seems like it should happen.
I light it up.
Yeah, I would argue as well. So that's where Gavin Newsom is today. And obviously, what does all this add up to? He's the favorite for the Democratic nomination. Back in a second. This message is sponsored by Lean. It's interesting how quickly something can go from sounding extreme to feeling completely normal. We saw that during 2020, for sure. Because, I will say not that long ago, the idea of taking a weekly injection just to lose weight would have seemed very strange.
It was called heroin.
No, you shouldn't try that one for sure. There's other injections that might be a tad safer than heroin, although they seem to have some side effects as well. You might not want to deal with those. People want real results, but they might not like the needles. They might not like the side effects. So what do you do if you just want something that's going to fit more naturally into your everyday routine? That's where Lean comes in. Lean is a doctor-formulated supplement designed to support weight loss by helping balance blood sugar, curb appetite, and encourage your body to burn stored fat for energy. And it's specifically built for people who have more than a few pounds to lose.
And don't drink it at night.
Really?
It actually works, yeah. It keeps you up, and it makes sure, you're losing weight, and it's,
Yeah, so you want to take it at night.
Take it in the morning.
Yeah, in the morning. That's a good Dave tip right there. Get you started with 20% off and free rush shipping, so you can add Lean to your healthy diet and exercise plan today. Visit takelean.com and enter the code Stu and Dave for your discount. The promo code is Stu and Dave, all one word, at takelean.com, which is also all one word. Takelean.com. Check it out now. Takelean.com. Code is Stu and Dave. A couple of weeks ago, Mayor Zohran Mamdani of New York hugged the mascot of the New York Mets, which is Mr. Met, or was it Mrs. Met? I don't know. There's a couple of different mascots they have. And had a little, I don't know if it was a same-sex situation or not.
I'm not sure. He might have been sandwiched between the two.
Okay.
They might have been Eiffel Towering him.
They're making a movie about it. You can watch it on Pornhub.
Yeah.
So Mamdani had that hug. People noticed it. Since then, the New York Mets, with their, I think, $348 million payroll, have not won a game. They are 0-11 since Mamdani hugged the mascot. And he's getting blamed for it now.
Well, it's a whole new Billy Goat curse.
Yeah, it is.
Got a whole new... Except, of course, their culture does not. Oh no, they do have sex with goats.
Okay. You wanted to clarify that.
Oh no, yeah, I should correct myself.
Sometimes we have to make sure if we make a mistake.
We should call it the silly goat curse.
Yes. Where's he from? Uganda? He's got a mansion in Uganda.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
And he just made this big video about how this. What is it? Pied à terre tax. Do you know this story?
What is it?
Pied à terre. It's like a French. I may be pronouncing it wrong. I only took 5 years of French, but the pied à terre, which is like your second.
I only know how to kiss.
No, this is a second home, Dave.
Oh,
if you have they want to have a. If you're a rich guy and you got a second home in Manhattan, they want to put a tax on you to the point that he made.
You mean when you come from great wealth, like he did, yet you want to enforce communism onto an entire city?
He literally has a pied à terre in Uganda, which is this big mansion in Uganda. That's not going to get a tax. The one in New York is.
Right.
And he specifically camped out in front of somebody's condo some hedge fund guy, and was like, this is where he lives, and he doesn't even come here that much, and that makes me really mad, and that's why he should be taxed. And it's like, do you know you live in a city where people are celebrating bushy eyebrowed losers going and executing executives they think are too rich, and then you're hanging out in front of the guy's residence and telling everybody where he lives and how evil he is for owning an apartment in your freaking community?
Which a lot of people own apartments in that community just as business write-offs to do business in that city.
And he's like, we're not going to put up with that anymore. We don't have to put up with that. How is he taking advantage of the city by buying something in your city? And yes, jacking up the real estate prices for other billionaires who might buy a $200 million apartment, but it's not like it's affecting the average day, day person.
Well, no, and then his whole grocery store thing that they're talking about.
Yes, city-run grocery plan now getting pushback from local bodegas and supermarkets in New York. This is his most communist.
Well, they don't prosecute crime. There's already a free grocery store on every single corner. It's called Dwayne Reed. That's why they have Snickers behind glass. It's like it's the Hope Diamond.
It's
already available. Like there used to. What are you going to do with a free grocery store in New York? Honestly, remember when there were lines to get into Studio 54?
Yes.
Now there's going to be lines to get a bag of flour. It's pretty exciting what he's managed to do to the city.
Yeah, he's made it worse in such a noticeable way, but he's done it with a smile. And that's why he still maintains a popularity rating north of 2%.
Well, yes, bless him.
Mm-hmm. That's him. That's Mamdani. And the goat comment, I want to make sure that was a clarification that they do.
Yes. Some have goats for wives.
Okay.
Not all. I mean, that would be racist.
Right. It's not all.
And I just want to say that only some of them make love to goats.
Wow, there you go. It's an understanding.
A silly goat curse is a good idea.
It's a cultural show we have here where we can discuss things like this, like adults.
The man's cursed.
Back in a second. People spend more time researching a new television than they do choosing a person who's supposed to sell their house for the highest possible price. And you'll compare specs and you'll read reviews and you'll watch videos. You're probably asking ChatGPT to map this thing out for you. But then you're going to hand your biggest financial transaction in your entire life over to the first person whose picture you see under a homeless person on a bench. This is not a good way. It's not a good policy. It's not a good way to make that decision. When you're buying or selling a home, the agent really matters. Pricing strategy really matters. Negotiation, what you fix up around the house, who your neighbors are, what school zone you're in, all that stuff really matters. And the right agent can save you stress. They can save you time. They can potentially save you a lot of money and also make you a lot of money. That's why our own Glenn Beck started the company realestateagentsitrust.com. It's a network of agents who have been carefully vetted for their track record and professionalism. So you're not rolling the dice when it comes to this really big decision. realestateagentsitrust.com. It's a free service to you. Check it out. Take advantage of it. realestateagentsitrust.com. It's realestateagentsitrust.com. There are some people in this world who are not yet subscribers to BlazeTV, Dave. It's true. It's true. I saw a documentary on it on National Geographic.
Oh, I saw that last night as well.
Yeah, really good. Powerful stuff. An entire continent without BlazeTV. But
stupid hippos.
BlazeTV.com/StuandDave. Go there now. Use the code StuandDave. Save yourself $20 and join our conversation online. Some comments to give you. Stephen Regina writes, pro Beagle, anti-Swalwell. This is Stu and Dave Do America. That's kind of our two positions.
Agreed.
That's really all we believe in. Jamie Sophie writes, the Beagle mascot needs to happen. We talked about this yesterday. We are both pro Beagle. They're adorable little guys. We need a little adorable Beagle.
We need a mascot. On our last show, we had Angela's beaver, and we also had...
I don't know what...
no, it really was. It was a beaver that she brought in. And then we also had her dog that she sent in to get a picture, and they take the dog and they make it look like your dead dog. And she didn't realize how lifelike it would come back. So we had the creepiest ghost dog on the last show. So I want to have a nice, cute beagle on this one.
That'll be a little bit more positive. DaveLandau.com. Find Dave all around the country. PredictableShow.com. That starts tomorrow. We will see you then.